Have you ever wondered why some doors in life seem to swing wide open while others stay locked no matter how hard you try? Think about it. You've pushed, you've pulled, you've knocked until your hands were sore, but the door didn't budge. And yet at other times, opportunities appeared out of nowhere. Paths unfolded that you could never have forced, and everything seemed to align beyond your own effort. Those moments remind us of something powerful. Not every door opens by human strength. Some doors only open by the hand of God. Deep inside, you know that life cannot be explained by chance alone. Too many things line up with precision. Too many breakthroughs arrive at just the right moment. Too many obstacles vanish when all hope seemed gone. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. That is divine intervention. And when you recognize it, something inside you awakens. You realize you are not wandering through life at random. You are being guided. You are being led toward places that only the God who opens doors can bring you to. But here's the truth. Many people live as if the doors of their life are sealed shut forever. They walk around carrying regret, feeling stuck in circumstances they cannot change. They settle into frustration, believing that if it hasn't opened yet, it never will. That mindset is like standing in front of a locked door without ever considering that the key might be in the hands of someone greater than you. You see, doors do not remain closed forever when God intends for them to open. Timing is not denial. Delay is not defeat. What feels impossible for you is effortless for Him. Think about how often fear whispers that your best opportunities have already passed. Fear tells you that you are too late, too unqualified, too broken, too ordinary. But fear is a liar. The reality is this: the same God who created you has already designed the doors that will lead you to purpose, growth, and transformation. Those doors are not opened by chance, not opened by human approval, not opened by connections or status. They open by divine authority, and when they open, no one can close them. This truth should change the way you see your future. Instead of feeling powerless, you begin to feel expectant. Instead of worrying about every closed opportunity, you start to understand that what doesn't open wasn't meant for you, and what is meant for you cannot be taken away. That kind of faith doesn't just comfort you, it empowers you. It gives you strength to wait with patience, to move forward with courage, and to trust that your life is unfolding in the hands of a God who knows exactly what He is doing. So let this message sink deep into your spirit. You are not forgotten. You are not stuck forever. You are not limited by closed doors. There is a God who specializes in opening the very doors you cannot touch. And when He opens them, it will not just be a moment of relief, it will be a moment of transformation. You will step into places you never imagined, experience opportunities you never earned, and see breakthroughs you thought were impossible. Stay with me, because in the moments ahead, you will discover how to recognize those doors, how to walk through them with courage, and how to live with the unshakable faith that your next season is already on its way. The God who opens doors is still at work, and what He has prepared for you is greater than anything that is closed behind you. But what about the seasons when every door feels sealed shut? When no matter how hard you try, nothing seems to move. Those are the moments that test your heart the most. You stand in front of opportunity after opportunity, but all you see are barriers. You pray, you wait, you knock, yet silence greets you. And in that silence, doubt creeps in, whispering that maybe you are not chosen, maybe you are forgotten, maybe life will always be this way. That is the weight of a closed door, the temptation to believe it is permanent. Yet what if that very silence is not rejection, but protection? What if the doors that refuse to open are saving you from pain, from harm, from paths that would lead to less than what you were created for? Closed doors do not mean abandoned dreams. They are often divine shields, redirecting you towards something higher, something better aligned with your purpose. The problem is that when you stare too long at what will not open, you begin to lose sight of the doors that are meant for you. You start shrinking your vision to fit the disappointment, instead of lifting your vision to see beyond. Psychologists call this the tunnel effect. When rejection comes, the mind narrows its focus until all you can see is the wall in front of you. You forget that walls are not the whole picture. They are simply obstacles along the path. And when you train yourself to step back, to widen your view, you realize there are other paths, other opportunities, other possibilities you couldn't see before. That is the power of faith. It pulls your vision back from the tunnel and shows you that life is bigger than this one closed door. You cannot afford to let temporary barriers define your destiny. Every person who has ever broken through to their next level has faced closed doors. Every leader, every dreamer, every builder has heard no more times than they can count. What separates those who move forward from those who stay stuck is not the absence of rejection. It is the decision to see rejection as redirection. When you embrace this shift, frustration loses its grip on you. Disappointment no longer chains you to the past. Instead, you begin to rise with resilience, trusting that if this one stayed shut, another is waiting that will lead you further than you imagined. And isn't that what you truly want? Not just any opportunity, but the right one. Not just an opening, but the opening that leads to your best future. Holding on to faith in the middle of closed doors is what prepares your spirit to walk through the right ones when they appear. If you give up too soon, you'll never see the doors that were destined to open. But if you keep believing, if you keep standing, if you keep your eyes lifted, you'll discover that what feels like an ending is often the setup for a greater beginning. So let the closed doors teach you. Let them refine your patience. Let them sharpen your vision. Let them strengthen your faith. They are not your final destination. They are simply markers on the journey, reminders that your life is being guided by a hand that sees what you cannot. Do not lose heart. The same God who allows certain doors to stay closed is the same God who has prepared others that will open wide at the perfect moment. And when they do, you will understand why you had to wait, why you had to be delayed, and why the door you once wanted was never meant to be yours. If closed doors remind you of your limits, open doors remind you of who truly holds the keys. No person, no system, no circumstance has the final say over your destiny. Authority may appear to rest in the hands of others, but real authority belongs to the one who governs time, seasons, and outcomes. When you understand this, fear begins to lose its grip. Anxiety dissolves when you recognize that you do not have to force what only God can unlock. So much of human struggle comes from the desire to control. We grasp, we push, we manipulate situations in hopes of creating an opening. And the harder we try, the more exhausted we become, because deep inside we know we cannot force what is not meant to be. But the moment you release the illusion of control and surrender the keys to God, peace enters. Psychology confirms this truth. Surrender lowers stress, reduces anxiety, and builds resilience. You stop wrestling with what is outside your hands and you start focusing on what you can do. Prepare your heart, align your attitude, and walk in faith until the right door opens. This is the power of trust. Trust is not passive. Trust is not sitting back and waiting for life to happen. Trust is active alignment. It is standing firm in the middle of uncertainty and declaring with your actions and your attitude that you believe something greater is guiding you. Trust shifts your focus from people's approval to God's timing. You stop looking for validation from those who cannot give it, and you start anchoring your hope in the one who has already decided your outcome. And here is the truth that changes everything. When God opens a door, it doesn't matter who tried to shut you out. It doesn't matter who overlooked you, underestimated you, or dismissed you. Human rejection cannot cancel divine intention. No closed hand can keep shut what God has decreed open. That realization should fill you with courage. You no longer need to live small, shrinking yourself to fit into doors people offer you. Instead, you rise in boldness, knowing that the doors meant for you will find you. Imagine the freedom of living this way, no longer chained to fear of failure, no longer paralyzed by opinions, no longer chasing after what is beyond your reach. Instead, you carry the quiet confidence that the right opportunities will unfold at the right time. And while you wait, you prepare. While you trust, you grow. While you stand in faith, you strengthen your character so that when the door swings open, you are ready to walk through with boldness and grace. There is no greater peace than knowing your destiny is not in the fragile hands of chance. It rests in the unshakable hands of the God who holds every key. Let this truth break the weight of fear and lift you into confidence. Because if he holds the keys, then nothing can lock you out of what is meant for you. Every barrier loses its power. Every rejection loses its sting. Every delay loses its ability to discourage you. You are not defined by closed doors. You are defined by the one who has already prepared the ones that will open. And when they open, you will know without a doubt, it was never your strength, never your striving. It was his hand, his timing, and his perfect plan unfolding for your life. If he holds the keys, then he also holds the timing. And timing matters just as much as the door itself. An open door at the wrong time can become as destructive as a closed one. That is why waiting is not punishment. It is preparation. Waiting teaches you to strengthen what is weak, to sharpen what is dull, to grow in areas you did not even realize needed growth. Waiting stretches your patience and deepens your trust, molding you into the kind of person who can carry the weight of what is coming. The mind resists waiting because it craves instant results. Psychology tells us that humans are wired for immediate gratification, for quick rewards, for the relief of now. That is why delay feels so heavy, why it feels like rejection. But delay is not rejection, it is discipline. It trains your heart to believe even when sight offers no evidence. It builds resilience, the kind of resilience that separates those who quit from those who rise. When you learn to endure the silence of waiting, you are building the strength to handle the sound of breakthrough. Think of how many doors you thought you were ready for, but later realized you were not. In those moments, what looked like disappointment was really mercy. The waiting season protected you from being crushed by what you could not yet carry. That is why trusting divine timing is so crucial. It removes the illusion that everything is late. It allows you to see that what feels like a delay is often a setup, aligning every detail so that when the door finally opens, it opens at the moment you can walk through it with confidence and authority. Waiting does not mean standing still. Waiting is active. It is using the present season to develop discipline, strengthen faith, and grow in wisdom. It is preparing yourself so thoroughly that when the opportunity arrives, hesitation will not hold you back. Many doors remain unopened, not because they are denied, but because the person waiting is not yet prepared. Growth always precedes access. Transformation always comes before promotion. The waiting room is not wasted time. It is the birthplace of readiness. If you are in a season of waiting now, do not despise it. Do not curse it. Embrace it as evidence that something greater is being aligned for you. The longer you prepare, the stronger you become. The stronger you become, the more capable you are of handling the blessing that is coming. Divine timing is never random, never careless. Every delay has purpose. Every silence carries meaning. Every closed season holds within it the seeds of breakthrough. So lift your perspective. Stop measuring your worth by how quickly doors open. Start measuring it by how deeply you are growing while you wait. Every day you endure with faith is a day you are being shaped into the version of yourself that can fully step into the opportunity ahead. The God who holds the keys also holds the calendar, and his timing is never late. When the appointed moment arrives, the door will swing wide, not a second too soon, not a second too late, and you will walk through knowing you are ready, knowing you are strong, and knowing that the waiting was never wasted. When the door finally opens, it is not enough to simply see it. You must have the courage to walk through it. Opportunity means nothing without action. Fear will always try to hold you at the threshold, convincing you to hesitate, to second guess, to question whether you are truly ready. Fear magnifies the unknown, painting the possibilities of failure larger than the promises of success. And if you let it, fear will keep you standing outside of the very blessing you prayed for, watching it slip away. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. Psychology proves that action reduces fear while hesitation multiplies it. The longer you wait at the doorway, the louder your doubts become. But the moment you step, the moment you take that first move, something shifts. Fear begins to lose its voice because faith has taken the lead. You realize that the risk you dreaded was never as powerful as the growth waiting on the other side. Too many lives remain stagnant because of what ifs. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I lose everything? But the deeper question is this: what if you succeed? What if this door is the one that changes everything? What if walking through it sets in motion the very transformation you have been longing for? When you choose to focus on the possibility of breakthrough instead of the possibility of failure, your courage strengthens and your steps grow bolder. Every open door requires risk. There is no promise of comfort, no guarantee of ease, but comfort has never produced growth, and ease has never produced greatness. Growth is born in the stretching, in the risk, in the willingness to move beyond what is familiar. The door will never feel completely safe. That is by design. It is in that uncertainty where faith is activated, where courage is formed, where the strongest version of you begins to emerge. If you wait until fear disappears, you will wait forever. The only way fear is silenced is when you move anyway. Courage grows in action, not in waiting. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. Each door you walk through makes you stronger for the next. Each risk you take builds resilience that prepares you for even greater opportunities. What feels terrifying today will feel normal tomorrow because you dared to step forward. So when the door opens, step boldly. Do not shrink back. Do not hesitate. Do not let your destiny slip through your fingers. Remind yourself that you have been prepared for this moment. Remind yourself that you are not walking alone. The same God who opened the door will walk with you through it. Fear cannot stop you. Failure cannot define you, and hesitation cannot hold you. You were created for this. There is a moment in every life where the difference between transformation and regret is one single step. Take it. Move forward. Let courage rise above fear, because the door is open, and what waits on the other side is not just opportunity, it is destiny calling your name. Every open door is not just about opportunity, it is about readiness. You can walk into the right place at the wrong time if you have not prepared yourself. Success is never built in the moment of stepping through. It is built in the unseen seasons before the door opens. Preparation is what transforms opportunity into destiny. Without it, even the greatest blessing can feel like a burden. The hidden seasons of your life matter more than you realize. The hours spent working when no one applauds, the discipline practiced when no one is watching, the growth pursued when it feels like nothing is changing, these are not wasted. They are training grounds. Psychology shows us that confidence is not created by chance, it is created through consistent preparation. When you prepare, your mind shifts from doubt to assurance. You no longer wonder if you belong in the room. You know you do, because you have built yourself for that moment. Too many people pray for open doors without preparing for them. They long for breakthrough but neglect the discipline required to handle it. Opportunity without preparation exposes weakness. But when you choose to use the waiting season to grow, you align yourself with the very opportunities you seek. Preparation is faith in action. It declares that you are not just hoping for the door to open, you are getting ready for it. Think about the weight of responsibility that comes with new opportunities. Greater doors always demand greater character, deeper wisdom, and stronger resilience. If you step through unprepared, the pressure can break you. But when you have trained your mind, disciplined your habits, and strengthened your spirit, what once would have crushed you now builds you. The very weight others cannot carry becomes the reason you rise. Preparation also sharpens clarity. It allows you to recognize which doors are truly for you. Without preparation, every opportunity looks appealing. With preparation, you see the difference between distraction and destiny. Your inner strength makes you discerning, guiding you toward the right path instead of chasing everything that glitters. Not every door is your door, and preparation ensures you do not waste your energy stepping into spaces you were never meant to occupy. This is why you cannot despise small beginnings. The little disciplines, the hidden sacrifices, the unseen hours, these are bricks that form the foundation of your future. Every time you choose consistency over comfort, every time you choose growth over excuses, you are building the strength that will carry you when the door finally opens. Preparation is the quiet proof of your belief that greater is coming. Do not be deceived into thinking you are waiting for the door to open. Often, the door is waiting for you to be ready. Your future is calling, but it requires a stronger, wiser, more resilient version of you. Do the work now, even if no one sees it. Sharpen your skills, discipline your habits, strengthen your mind, and deepen your faith. Because when the door swings wide, it will not be your preparation that holds you back. It will be your preparation that propels you forward. When the door opens, you will not walk in with hesitation or fear. You will walk in with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are ready. And the world will see not just the door that opened, but the strength of the one who prepared to walk through it. Not every door is meant to open. Some doors are closed not to punish you, but to protect you. You may see an opportunity and think it is perfect, but perfection is often an illusion. What looks appealing from the outside can hold disappointment, pain, or distraction on the inside. A closed door can feel like rejection, but in truth, it is often a safeguard. It is the mercy of being redirected away from what would harm your purpose. The human mind is wired to resist loss. Psychologists call it loss aversion, the tendency to feel the pain of what is taken away more deeply than the joy of what is given. That is why closed doors hurt so much. But when you shift perspective, you see that what feels like loss is often protection. It is not something being stolen from you. It is something being shielded for you. You are not being denied, you are being redirected. And that redirection is leading you toward what is truly yours. It takes humility to accept that you do not see the whole picture. You see the door in front of you, God sees the road beyond it. You see what looks good for today, He sees what will shape the rest of your life. That is why trust is essential. Trust does not mean you enjoy every closed door. Trust means you believe that even in the disappointment, something greater is being aligned. It is the confidence that nothing withheld from you will ever compare to what is being prepared for you. Closed doors also reveal your strength. They test whether you will collapse under frustration or rise in resilience. They strip away your dependence on circumstances and teach you to anchor yourself in faith. Anyone can stay hopeful when doors swing wide, but real growth is found in how you respond when they do not. Will you let disappointment define you, or will you let it refine you? That choice determines whether you remain stuck in frustration or move forward with vision. Every closed door is a teacher. It teaches patience. It teaches resilience. It teaches discernment. And most of all, it teaches gratitude when the right door finally opens. Without the no's, you would never fully appreciate the power of a yes. Without the doors that refuse to budge, you would never value the doors that opened at exactly the right time. Closed doors are not wasted experiences. They are vital chapters in the story of your transformation. So release the bitterness toward the opportunities that never came, the relationships that ended, the paths that shut down. Release the weight of what you thought should have worked but didn't. Do not waste your energy trying to kick down doors that were never meant for you. Instead, lift your focus. See the closed doors for what they are: protection, preparation, and redirection. Let them build in you the wisdom to recognize that your worth is not tied to what opens or what closes. Your worth is anchored in the one who guides you through both. The closed doors in your life are not the end of your story. They are simply the proof that greater doors still lie ahead. And when you learn to embrace them as part of your journey, you rise with unshakable faith, ready for the moment when the right door opens wide and you walk through it stronger, wiser, and more prepared than you have ever been. Every open door will test your faith because every open door comes with opposition. Fear will try to rise the moment you step forward. It will remind you of your past failures, magnify your weaknesses, and whisper that you are not capable of handling what lies ahead. Fear feeds on uncertainty, and if you give it power, it will paralyze you before you ever take a step. But faith transforms uncertainty into possibility. Faith looks at what is unknown and says, even if I cannot see the whole path, I will trust the one who leads me through it. Fear is a natural response, but it is not meant to be your leader. Psychology reveals that fear is a survival instinct designed to protect you from danger. But when fear dominates your decisions, it no longer protects you, it imprisons you. It builds invisible walls that keep you stuck in safety while life passes you by. Faith, however, rewires the mind. It breaks those walls, releasing courage, creativity, and resilience. Faith shifts your perspective from what if I fail to what if this is the breakthrough I've been waiting for. Every great opportunity comes with risk. There will always be reasons to hesitate, always obstacles that look too big, always voices telling you it cannot be done. But you were not created to live small, caged by fear of failure. You were created to rise, to grow, to step boldly into the unknown. Faith is not blind optimism. It is the choice to believe in a greater outcome even when the evidence is not yet visible. It is the discipline of aligning your thoughts, your words, and your actions with the belief that what lies ahead is worth the risk. Fear will tell you to shrink back, but shrinking will not save you. It only robs you of the very future you were designed to walk into. The longer you allow fear to dictate your choices, the more power it gains. But the moment you confront it with faith, its grip weakens. Courage is not built in the absence of fear. It is built in the presence of fear when you decide to move anyway. Every time you take a step in faith, you strengthen your spirit, proving to yourself that fear does not define you. This is why your focus matters. What you magnify in your mind becomes your reality. If you feed fear, it grows stronger. If you feed faith, courage rises. Gratitude, vision, and positive expectancy are fuel for faith. They shift your inner state from paralysis to power, from doubt to determination. Faith does not guarantee that the journey will be easy, but it guarantees that the journey will transform you. It ensures that you will not walk in circles of regret, but move forward into progress. So when the door opens and fear whispers its threats, choose faith. Step forward with the assurance that you are not walking alone. The God who opened the door will also strengthen you to walk through it. Fear cannot control you, obstacles cannot stop you, and uncertainty cannot hold you. Your faith is greater than your fear, and when you lean on it, you find the courage to move into places you once thought were impossible. The door is open. Walk forward with faith because your breakthrough is waiting. When fear has been silenced by faith, another truth must anchor your heart. No force in existence can lock a door that God has chosen to open. Opposition may come, resistance may rise, and people may try to block your way, but divine authority overrides every obstacle. The moment you understand this, your confidence shifts. You stop worrying about who is against you and start resting in the certainty that what is for you cannot be stolen, delayed, or destroyed. So much of human insecurity comes from believing that your future is controlled by others, by their approval, their decisions, their willingness to open or close doors in your life. But people do not hold ultimate authority over your destiny. They may have influence, but influence is not control. Circumstances may create obstacles, but obstacles are not final. The God who speaks in galaxies form is the same God who decrees that no barrier can stand when it is your time to move forward. This truth should free you from the weight of striving. You no longer need to manipulate or force your way into places you were never meant to enter. You no longer need to fear the power of rejection or the sting of being overlooked. Human rejection is temporary. Divine intention is permanent. And when intention aligns with timing, doors open in ways that leave no doubt it was orchestrated by God Himself. Psychology teaches that empowerment fuels resilience. When you believe that no external force has the power to permanently block your progress, your mindset changes. You become less reactive, less anxious, less desperate. You begin to operate with a calm assurance, knowing that setbacks are not the end. They are simply part of the journey. This mental shift increases clarity, strengthens decision-making, and gives you the courage to take consistent action without being paralyzed by fear of opposition. The enemy may try to intimidate you with delay, but delay cannot cancel destiny. The enemy may whisper that the door is locked forever, but every lock is powerless against the key that rests in God's hands. And when he decides it is time, nothing and no one can stop the opening. This is why you must stand firm. Do not let the presence of resistance convince you that you are unworthy. Resistance often appears right before breakthrough because the closer you are to stepping into what belongs to you, the harder the pushback becomes. Your responsibility is not to break the lock, it is to keep your faith alive until the moment the key turns. Every closed door that finally opens proves that divine authority always wins over human limitation. Every breakthrough reminds you that no opposition has the final word. And each time you step through, your confidence deepens, your faith strengthens, and your courage rises higher for the doors still ahead. Lift your eyes beyond the resistance and fix them on the truth. The door God opens is unstoppable. No rival can shut it, no enemy can block it, no force can hold it closed. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, you are carried by divine purpose. Walk with that certainty. Hold your head high. Move forward knowing that what has been unlocked for you is already yours and nothing in this world or beyond it can take it away. When you begin to understand that no one can shut what God has opened, something extraordinary happens within you. You stop chasing validation and start embracing alignment. You stop measuring your worth by external applause and start anchoring your confidence in divine purpose. This shift is not small. It is the foundation of unshakable resilience. Because once you know the source of your open doors, you no longer fear the opinions, resistance, or rejection of people. Their power over your destiny dissolves in the light of God's authority. Think about how much energy is wasted in fear of missing out, in worry that you have been overlooked, in anxiety that someone else has taken what belongs to you. That fear drains your spirit, clouds your vision, and locks you in comparison. But here is the truth that will free you. What has your name on it cannot be taken by another. The door that was designed for you will never lead someone else through it. Your only responsibility is to stay prepared, to keep walking in faith, and to step boldly when the opening comes. Psychologists remind us that clarity creates confidence. When you stop worrying about doors that aren't yours and focus on the ones that are, your life takes on new strength. You no longer scatter your energy in frustration. You no longer cling to relationships, jobs, or opportunities that are not aligned with your calling. Instead, you release what is not meant for you because you know the one who opens doors will always lead you towards something greater. And that release, that surrender, is where your true power begins to grow. Closed doors, instead of being signs of rejection, become signs of protection. Every time you face one, you can choose to see it differently. Instead of despair, you can see redirection. Instead of defeat, you can see preparation. A locked path is not a failure, it is a safeguard. It is evidence that the God who opens doors is also the God who shields you from harm. This perspective turns frustration into gratitude and transforms fear into peace. When you grasp this, your inner dialogue changes. You stop asking, why is this not working for me? And you start declaring, something better is being prepared for me. You stop doubting your worth when others shut you out, and you start affirming, if this door is closed, it's because a greater one will open. This mindset doesn't just inspire, it rewires your entire approach to life. It gives you the endurance to keep walking when others quit. It gives you the hope to rise again when you've been knocked down. The more you practice this perspective, the more unstoppable you become. Discouragement loses its grip. Rejection no longer defines you. Comparison fades because your eyes are fixed on your unique path. You learn to wait without bitterness, to trust without wavering, and to move without fear. And when the moment comes, when the God who holds the keys swings the door wide open, you will be ready, not just to step through, but to thrive on the other side. So let peace guard let faith fuel your steps, let courage lift your spirit. Every closed door is leading you closer to the one that will change everything. And when it opens, you will know without question it was worth every delay, every rejection, and every season of waiting, because nothing can compare to the doors God opens for you. The greatest shift you can make in your life is to stop obsessing over what you cannot control and start pouring your energy into what you can. You cannot control the timing, but you can control your preparation. You cannot dictate when the opportunity will arrive, but you can decide whether you'll be ready when it does. This is the difference between drifting through life and moving with intention. Every action, every thought, every decision becomes a seed planted in the soil of your future. The question is not if the door will open, it is whether you'll be strong enough to walk through it when it does. Your growth is not built in the moment of breakthrough, it is built in the silence before it. The discipline you build in the waiting, the consistency you maintain when no one is watching, the faith you cultivate when it feels like nothing is changing. These are the unseen foundations that prepare you for everything you are asking for. Too often, people pray for open doors, but neglect the preparation required to step into them. They want the elevation without the endurance, the blessing without the building, the stage without the struggle. But destiny does not unfold through shortcuts. It unfolds through preparation meeting opportunity. This is why the waiting is never wasted. Every challenge is shaping your character. Every delay is refining your patience. Every setback is strengthening your resolve. If you allow it, the very things you once resented will become the tools that qualify you for the life you desire. Because the truth is, the door will open when you are ready to carry the weight of what lies behind it. And readiness is not a matter of convenience. It is a matter of consistency. You cannot ask for greatness while living in comfort. You cannot expect abundance while operating in mediocrity. You cannot demand open doors if you are unwilling to sharpen your skills, expand your mindset, and discipline your habits. The doors that truly matter require you to grow into them. They require you to shed the old version of yourself so you can rise into the person capable of thriving in what's ahead. This is not punishment, it is preparation. The beauty of this truth is that you are not powerless. You may not control the timing, but every day you control your effort. Every day you decide whether you will rise with purpose or shrink back in passivity. Every day you decide whether you will build strength or surrender to weakness. And with each decision, you are either aligning yourself with the future you desire or drifting further from it. So let your waiting be active, not passive. Train your mind to expect breakthrough. Train your spirit to hold faith when circumstances say otherwise. Train your body to carry the weight of your calling. Because when that door opens, it will not wait for you to catch up. It will demand that you step boldly into it, ready, prepared, and confident. And here is the promise. When you do your part, God does his. When you sow in faith, you reap in abundance. When you prepare in the unseen, you are rewarded in the open. No effort, no discipline, no act of faith is ever wasted. It all compounds, it all multiplies, it all prepares you for the moment that changes everything. And when it comes, you will not stumble into it by chance. You will step into it by design, fully ready for the life that was always meant to be yours. The truth is, nothing changes until you decide that enough is enough. Transformation does not come from wishing, hoping, or waiting for someone else to hand it to you. It comes from a decision deep within your spirit that you will no longer tolerate living beneath the standard you were created for. That decision is where strength is born. That decision is where new beginnings ignite. Every powerful breakthrough begins with a single moment of inner defiance against everything that once held you back. You do not need everything to line up before you rise. You do not need perfect conditions before you take the first step. Growth rarely begins in comfort. It begins when you move forward despite the discomfort.